Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Finished training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
This podcast is supported by FX's English teacher. Last year's critically acclaimed series returns to follow Evan, Gwen, and Marky as they vie for their students' divided attention. See why Cosmopolitan called its premiere season a masterclass of comedy, while Glamour raved it's the year's funniest and most heartwarming new comedy series. FX's English teacher, all new Thursdays on FX. All episodes now streaming on Hulu.
Eric, what's the best style of pizza?
Tom, my friend, being a native New Yorker, I might lose some, if not all, of my New York pizza points on this one. But I lived in New Haven, Connecticut for some time. Pistol waving, New Haven. And I got to say, man, that Connecticut pizza is A1. Chef's kiss. So good. Thin crust. Sauces galore. They do a beautiful clam situation with the white sauce. New Haven pizza, I think, goes toe-to-toe with even the aficionados in Italy, man. New Haven pizza, sign me up.
That is correct.
It's the only way to go.
As a Connecticut guy, Pepe's, you go Sally's. Pepe's has started doing like a little chain action, which is great. I've been to a couple of the ones in like Stamford and Fairfield, and they still bang, dude. Now I do want mozzarella on it. The classic Pepe's is just like the crispy, weird shaped slices in their coal oven. But I would say I want some mozzarella there. Just I also like that white clam pizza, and we'll talk about that later in this episode because it comes up. But man, New Haven style pizza is the best. The char, the chewy, crispy crust, all of that is just chef's kiss. So if you're in New York, take the Metro North up to New Haven, get out, go to Pistol Wave in New Haven. That's a new one on me, even though I'm from Connecticut. So you lived in New Haven for a bit. That's great.
I lived there. Yeah, I lived in New Haven for a little bit. Shout out to Elm City Market. It's a market out there that I used to consult with. And I was doing the back and forth at that, Metro North, as you called it. I was doing that trip back and forth. And I was just like, this is way too much. So I got an apartment there as I consulted for a few months. And I just fell in love with the pizza. I think I ate pizza 4 or 5 times a week, bro. So good.
Oh, so good. So good. It's not
this
quite.
Actually, I feel like a Step Brothers moment. This is the first time that we've done the pod. And I think we've agreed on the first question. So like, are we friends now? Like, is this happening?
Are we best friends? Yeah, I think we are. We're high-fiving through our computers right now.
Good stuff.
This is Pack Your Knives. I'm Tom Haberstroh.
And I'm Chef Eric Edgepalm.
Eric, Tristan is on a roll, bro. Like 3 out of 4 wins. And in between that, he's got a quick fire. This guy continues to bring it. He wins another episode, another elimination challenge. And I would venture to say he might have won a 4th if it wasn't a team challenge last week. So he's basically riding a 4 elimination challenge win streak with a quick fire in there. Eric, how does it feel?
Everybody get your roll on. Everybody get your roll on. What? Absolutely. Yes. He's on a roll. Pizza, pun intended. Tristan is absolutely just crushing the competition. And I think there's one chef specifically it's getting under his skin. And I got to say, it's Massimo. There's been a few cutaways now between now and then, a few episodes before this week and last, that Massimo just hasn't been as let's say, excited for Tristan's wins, as enthusiastic. And, sometimes it can be annoying. You got that one guy that's just continuously outdueling you in every single competition. You start to doubt yourself, but not I, and not on my team right now. Tristan is just doing numbers upon numbers. Brilliant showing once more with this amazing episode today. This guy knows what he's doing, man. He does. He's putting himself up there with some of the most elite runs in Top Chef history.
Yeah, on that, great point. Since season 10, I looked this up, chefs on the show that have won at least 3 out of 4 in a run. Okay. Season 20, Buddha. Okay. Season 19, Evelyn Garcia. Evelyn, who's Henry's co-founder of June. She in Houston, she won episode 5, 6, and 7. So kind of in the same wheelhouse that we're in with Tristan. Foreshadowing, Henry does not do as well as Evelyn. Season 17, All-Stars, Melissa King, listen to this, won 3, 4, and 6. So that's 3 and 4. And then she also finished out the season winning 11, 12, 13, and 14. And that's an all-star season, by the way. So Melissa had 2 runs as good as what Tristan's doing right now. Season 12, our guy Gregory Gourdet won 4 in a row. And also in that season, Katsuji and Doug Adams, they also had 3 and 4, but a couple of those were team challenges, team wins. Whereas I know technically Tristan and Bailey won last week in when they went in the stage episode, they were a partnership. So it was kind of a team win, but still I think Tristan, I'm counting that as an individual win. Season 10, Kristen and Brooke Williamson. So Kristen Kish and Brooke Williamson both went on runs where they won at least 3 out of 4.
Are you counting Brooke's time at Last Chance Kitchen as well?
No, that's in the main event. Even with Kristen and Brooke have done Last Chance Kitchen before. Listen to those names: Buddha, Kristen Kish, Brooke Williamson, Melissa King, Gregory, and Evelyn Garcia. That's where we're at with Tristan, bro.
We're talking James Beard. We're talking winners of Top Chef. Man, the accolades that these chefs have sort of gained for themselves after doing such an impressive run on Top Chef is no less than, very impressive. And if Tristan's on any sort of similar trajectory, he's going to be, he's already, right now, despite what happens to Tristan moving forward, he's still got one more sort of immunity. So he's guaranteed to be here after Restaurant Wars, which is great. He has set himself apart and I think has become a fan favorite, or at least one of them. So he's really, really doing it for himself. And again, you may not say it, but I will, on my team, doing numbers for my guys, just once in and once out. It's like triple doubles, man, at this point.
Right. And he's got 2 other top finishes. So it's not like he won those, but he was in the top 3. So he's on a run that I think alone, if you just had him on your team, you would be beating him. Pretty sure. So one thing that stands out to me about Tristan is he's very likable too. I think what you mentioned about Massimo is accurate, that he's kind of a little bit the competitive juices are coming out now because we're kind of farther into the show, and it's no longer, we're taking the kid gloves off. We're sharpening our elbows a little bit. It's now I really want to win. I see the finish line, and it's getting me aggravated. This guy's so good, and I really want to beat this dude. And he beat him last week in a technicality that it was a team competition. I don't think Massimo would have won if he was on the same team as Tristan and Cesar. We'll talk about Cesar in a sec. But Tristan, what stands out to me is the dude excels in so many different cuisines.
Yikes. That's dangerous. Yo, he's dangerous, man.
I'm going to just do this Armenian dish.
Put me in Armenia. Put me in Africa. Put me in the American South. Put me no
Sweden.
Matter where
He's I lived in Sweden for a while. I can do Swedish.
Come on. It's that so cerebral. You called this last week, man. There's certain chefs that compete, Buddha, Melissa King, that just have this aptitude to sort of really dive into the challenge, right? And speak to the challenge in a way that no other, it's like this fourth connection, you know, deeper than actual the seeing and smelling and the tasting, but you have like this visceral reaction to what you're doing and the main objective to you know, that the challenge gives you. And you just excel. And, you know, being there with Melissa, watching her do it, I saw that firsthand. It was just like, I remember this one dish she did with carrots, and she sort of shingled the carrots on a piece of fish. And it was like sort of to mimic, you know, fish scales. And I'm like, how? Where did you even come up with? How did you even think of that in 20 minutes? Tristan's on a very similar path, man. So
anchovy
impressive.
ranch dressing, where he doesn't even like ranch dressing, and then he's like, all of them are like, you need to bottle this up and sell it. That's how good this is. And I'm like, the dude hasn't liked a single thing that he's cooked this year.
What do you like, Tristan?
Yeah.
Tell me that, chef. What do you like? Like, let's get a challenge of that, man. No, he's maybe this is, I don't know, underselling, over delivering, playing coy, and just saying that he doesn't like a certain thing, and just smacking people in the face with things that he actually does enjoy and really likes. Who knows, man? If he's playing at that point, it's maybe 3D chess. But whatever he's doing, it's working, and it's in his favor, man.
Man, incredible. So we'll talk more about his dish and his quickfire. He was top 3. So he is just on this roll. So there's the quickfire was, you know, a sponsored segment with Finish cleaning products, $10,000 to the winner. And we get the Top Chef Canada host, Eden Grinchpan, who's not only going to be around for the quickfire, but she's also going to be at the judges table for the elimination challenge. She was great. We did get a little vignette, a little video about Vinny and James Kent, and coming off my meal over at Kent's restaurant with Danny Garcia. It's very clear that Vinny and Danny had a close kinship working at their previous stop, but also that kind of James Kent tree is very strong. And you can see that Vinny in this episode, very emotional talking about James Kent, and had a very, very close relationship with him. And unfortunately, when he passed away, I think maybe, I don't know if the timing or this is editing, but it seemed like finally we got Vinny to like cook his food and go back into his own life. And we'll talk about it in the elimination challenge where, all right, we needed to get a little bit of Vinny like back on track here, some positive stuff with Vinny. And we did it in the opening here. It was a well-timed kind of edit on that story, him getting emotional on camera about talking about James Kent's passing. And he was moved to tears. So, you know, I think Tristan, we had a little thing with Tristan, was like, yo, can I be real with you for a second? You need to stop talking about your mentors or where you worked at. You just need to start cooking where you're at. And again, Eric, I feel like this is your brother. Like Tristan, I feel like everything he does on this show, I'm like, Eric would definitely approve of that.
100%. I mean, I got nothing but just sweet words for Tristan right now. He really embodies everything that I like to embody as a chef. But you know, there's a time and place, and you know, he sort of like prefaces by saying like, hey man, I hope I'm not, you know, stepping over my boundaries, but like in a genuine moment, a heart to heart, and in front of other chefs, he told Vinny, like, man, cook your food. And this is stuff that we've been talking about. This is stuff that we've been hearing about with Vinny specifically. And I'm so happy that Vinny actually went ahead and adhered, and like took it to heart, man. James Kent, Chef Kent, his effect and sort of reach, like you said, that tree that he had in New York and beyond, has ripple effects all throughout the industry, man. He was a fantastic chef, brilliant mind as far as hospitality. So it's very, very easy to imagine someone working under him like Vinny would have a very strong emotional tie. His death was extremely sudden, and no one saw it coming. So that sort of shock value really adds to, the despair of it all. But man, when he heard it, and I think that just hopefully unlocked him in a way that really gives him the freedom and hopefully the gumption to be like, you know what, man, this is who I am. And although he mentioned it too, I think Chef Kent would be very proud to see him do his food versus like renditions of everyone else's, man. And I'm so happy for that moment. I'm glad it was caught on camera. And I'm glad that they edited that in there. It was a really good moment for Vinny and that whole sort of, man, great episode all throughout to see Vinny sort of triumph and really get himself in his bag rather. That was great.
Yeah, he does. He gets the yolks dish from this 10 toughest stains in America as part of the gimmick or the concept of this this quickfire challenge sponsored by the Finished Cleaning Products. So you have to draw inspiration from a plate or a dish that has a really tough stain to get out of. There's a pasta sauce one. There's a yolks one, a meat sauce one, coffee, guacamole. Didn't know guacamole was all that hard. I kind of feel like that's a weird one. Mac and cheese, oatmeal, fluffy rice, and lasagna. Okay. Of those, I understand most of them, right? Like I thought Raisin Bran should be on there because when my daughter eats half of her Raisin Bran.
You literally preface this the perfect way. I feel like this is a quick fire for dads, right? Like you and I don't know about you, but like you said, Raisin Bran, my daughter eats oats almost every day. That if you're not washing
it glues on, dude.
Bro, yeah. It's like it's Gorilla Glue. If you're not washing that off immediately, good luck. The egg yolks, if you're not washing that immediately, great luck. The spaghetti and everything else, man. Like I feel like, man, we could have done this challenge and really spoke to the heart about everything. But man, it was
like
really
a big ziti casserole. Like if you burn on some like tomato sauce or cheese onto that rim of that you're not getting that off with a normal wash. You have to get out like a chainsaw to get that off.
It's a soak. It's definitely a soak.
I'm sorry. Should I not bring a chainsaw into the kitchen when I'm doing the dishes?
I would hope that at least your kids are out there. But bro, it's a soak.
Is there a secret to this? Like I don't know if you have a brand engagement with another cleaning product, but like, is it just a matter of soaking when you have that crust of like burnt cheese on a pan? Like what do you do? You just got to soak it.
Yeah, you have to soak it. Shout out to Ecolab. You got to soak it, man. You got to get ahead of it before it gets ahead of you, and really just get on top of it. Eggs, man. That's the thing that like haunts me, man. Once like the egg yolks stay, and it's a quick like stick, man. 2-3 minutes in, if you're not cleaning off that plate, good luck to you, man. So there's really no rhyme and reason, man. I think you can have great products, obviously, to help along the way, but it's elbow grease, man, or a couple of runs through that dish machine.
Yeah. And he gets yolks. He does like an eggs Benedict, which seemed pretty like, smart. Austin Tedesco, who works at Substack, a good friend of mine, he said he's worked in a few restaurants, and he said chefs hate when you order poached eggs. And I'm wondering, do you have a poached eggs like secret? Like how if they say, hey, you can have it any way you like. And I say poached eggs, does the chef go like, or do they like, yeah, I can do this?
No, it is the bane of the brunch chef, the line cook's existence, doing the poached eggs. Man, we were in poached egg hell 2 weeks ago at the restaurant, bro. It was, oh, man, everybody was ordering. The best way to get ahead of it, man, is just make them beforehand. You can actually make poached eggs the night before. And then retherm it. So like get hot water, just drop it in the hot water for a few moments, and then the egg yolks sort of come back to temperature, they come back to life, and then you can go on a plate. We have, and what we've noticed after that sort of, that brunch in the wheeze that we were in, we have this thing called the Rationale. It's this really smart, it's like a Brainiac computer oven, combination oven, and it has a poached egg feature on it. So what we did was just crack like tons and tons and tons of eggs in this big bowl, added a little bit of vinegar, and threw it in the oven and give it 20 minutes. And we had like 100 poached eggs, perfectly poached. And we were like, they didn't clump up together. Like it was insane. We were so impressed. And since then, we've been doing that for brunch. Like we're cooking happy now. Like chefs are happy. We're not in the weeds, because poached eggs can be it's a temperamental way to cook eggs, man. There's a million ways to cook eggs. That one is specifically is so difficult because you got to like stir the water. You have to add the vinegar. You've got to wait and wait and wait. You can't have the water too hot or too hot. Yeah, too hot. You can't have the flame too hot because it'll boil. Can't be too low because you need a little bit of a simmer. You need a little bit of bubbles to kind of help keep the egg afloat.
You gotta get that vortex going, right? Like the little tornado thing going in the pot.
Yes, chef, man. So, bro, there's so many levers to pull when it comes to poaching eggs.
It seems so easy. Like, it's like you can get it at IHOP or whatever, or your local diner, but it's like it takes a real skill and delicate hand to like, and instead of like just throwing it on the pot and then coming back to it 20 minutes later, you have to be like a mother hen on those things. No pun intended.
All pun intended. Yeah, man, you got to baby it. You can't walk away. I mean, with eggs, you can't walk away. I think really the true mark of a great chef is how well you cook eggs. Give me an over easy. I challenge a lot of chefs, over easy poached, a 6-minute egg, hard boil, like all those things as layman and as basic as it sounds, really sort of defines your finesse in the kitchen. So I'm always looking for egg cookery with my chefs, and I love cooking brunch. I love the egg cook, but yeah, the poached egg is definitely the one of the toughest of the bunch.
Hello, listener. It's Producer Maze here to talk to you about Quince and their cookware. Cooler nights mean cozy meals at home, and Quince's cookware has made fall cooking so much more enjoyable. Their pieces deliver the quality and performance of luxury brands, but at a price that makes sense. And they look gorgeous on the stovetop, too. No matter what item you need to complete your kitchen, Quince has you covered. With 5-ply stainless steel pots and pans, nonstick skillets, chef-quality knives, and even ceramic bakeware, which is perfect for cozy casseroles or Sunday roasts. And when you look at these prices, you might think, how is Quince doing this? How do they deliver high-quality items similar to high-end brands that are half the price? Well, let me tell you, they partner directly with ethical top-tier factories to cut out the middlemen and pass the savings on to you. And it's not just cookware. I got myself some bath sheets. That's right. When you're a tall man, you have to use bath sheets, not bath towels from Quince. It's like drying off with the cloud. It's incredible. Upgrade your kitchen for cozy fall meals with premium cookware from Quince. Go to quince.com/dings for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/dings, DINGS, to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dings.
Listener, listen up. This is important, okay? I'm going to try to save you some money here. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. You may think like, oh, that's bad. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. Here's why I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for $15 a month. You heard that correctly. $15 per month. Ditch overpriced wireless and the jaw-dropping monthly bills. And of course, there are all these hidden fees and stuff, but at Mint Mobile, plans start at $15 per month. All the plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text. You're not doing like weekend and nighttime minutes or anything like that. And it's delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone. Don't have to get a new phone. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. I switched months ago. People have asked, did you actually switch? Yes, I actually switched months ago. And I don't know what to do with all this extra money. I've cheated the system here. I've rigged something. This is an Ocean's 11 situation where I'm stealing wireless from Mint. That's how good a deal it is. Ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/dings. That's DINGS. That's mintmobile.com/dings. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 per month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Hello, listener. It's Producer Maze here to talk to you about Kindred. Now, close your eyes like Owen Wilson during a job interview and imagine a way to travel that feels personal, comfortable, and connected without the price tags and the sterile feelings of hotels or short-term rentals. Now open your eyes and stop using your imagination, because Kindred has made it very real. That's exactly what they do. Kindred is a members-only home swapping network. It's not a hotel. It's not a short-term rental. It's a smarter way to travel where each stay feels like home. Here's how it works. With Kindred, your home is your ticket. You earn credits by hosting fellow Kindred members, and then you use those credits to stay in over 220,000 homes in more than 100 cities worldwide. There are no hotel costs or rental fees, just the credits that you've earned. Every stay comes with white glove service, 24/7 trip support, and $100,000 in host protection. Make it easier for you to travel and enjoy yourself and not worry about details. I've used Kindred, and I found an amazing home for a weekend getaway in an idyllic location with amazing views and great ambiance. It had everything I needed. And the best part was, it cost me $0. So apply now at livekindred.com and use code DINGS to join for free. Plus, you'll earn 5 nights of travel credit just for signing up. That's right, that's 5 whole nights for free at livekindred, KINDRED.com, code DINGS, DINGS, livekindred.com, code DINGS.
All right, so Massimo does the pasta sauce. He gets ricotta gnocchi alla Sorrentina. Safe, but he executed very well. Same with Vinny, safe, but executed well. Yep. Paula does the vegetarian lasagna with mushrooms, doesn't work. And as she's handing the plates, she goes, I know.
I know.
I know. So cute.
I'll put that in my notes as well. She's like, I know. As soon as you're walking away, if Tom was there, those are one of the challenges, man, where, it's a quick fire. So don't really, you're typically cooking something that you probably never cooked before because it's in a wacky sort of instance. But man, she hammered the honey nut squash that she was using, poached, or rather steamed it a little bit too long.
Yeah, I know is a classic. I'll remember this season. Like that moment was a classic. Yes. I know. And Kristen's like, that's not a good sign. So we get Bailey does the guacamole. She got an avocado salad that really tasted well. She ended up in the bottom 3 for that because it really wasn't guac forward. It was more avocado forward, which really to me is kind of nitpicky. But Shwai does the mac and cheese, cheesy rice cakes, which they loved. It was very cheesy. Tristan does the jollof rice, golden jollof rice with peas, clams, charred shishito, hitting all the right notes. What are your thoughts?
Tristan.
It's a good dish, right? Good dish.
Tristan, what are you doing, bro? Like, he's showing off right now. What do you, you know what I'm curious now? What are you waiting to do? Like, what do you have in your pocket? Because right now you're pulling out all the shit. Like, Tristan, what do you, like, what don't you do?
20-minute jollof rice with clams and
pressure cooker as well. Golden jollof. I put in my notes, golden jolly. Bro, insane. Great cook. I'm tickled by Tristan. I really am. I think he's just, I want to save my accolades and love for later on, because if not, I'll just use all the words.
Lana does a meat sauce, eggs in purgatory, tomato, garlic bread. Seems pretty safe, but she executed well, again, like Vinny and Massimo. Now let's talk about two of the most interesting dishes. Both really went for it, and one worked, one did not. Cesar, the salmon cappuccino. What? Like, you didn't have to do salmon. So
you have to do that.
You didn't have to do that. It was a coffee challenge. And it's like, the challenge was, hey, you got to mix seafood with coffee or seafood breakfast or something like that. No, the challenge was just make a coffee dish.
Yo, you didn't have to do that. It has to be one of the funniest things I've heard you say, because it's so true. Like, why did you go there? What made you think that salmon? He said he's done it before. He knows it works. So he's seen it before. He knows that it works.
What was it? They asked her, or they asked him, and I think he said something like "it felt right" or something like that. And I was like, "It felt right." I've never once been like, you know what, this cedar plank, salmon needs a little sprinkle of espresso. I've never once felt like that,
Ethiopian beans.
Yeah.
Yo, that was, I think there's a lot of highs and a lot of lows this episode. That was one of the more complexing lows. I had no idea where he was going with that.
But he deserves the benefit of the doubt, right, Eric? Like, he's been...
Yes, Bailey called it out. Was it Bailey? I think it was. Who mentioned, like, listen, if he can make a pickle ice cream and it's one of the best things that Tom has had, then, who am I to tell him that he can't put salmon and coffee together? But Bailey, you are someone to tell someone. That you can't put. That was a dish to be left in the... put that in the drafts, bro. Don't take it out.
And then... Cesar is in the bottom, but he went for it in a quick fire. There's no real skin in the game on that one. So it's all upside in the quick fire. But Henry, bless his soul, very emotional roller coaster this season, comes out and does a golf ball and grits. That's what it looked like. It was a one-note monochromatic dish that did not look appetizing whatsoever. Usually you want to bring some sort of color or some sort of texture. It looked like it did not look appetizing, and it blew their minds how good it was. So talk to me about this dish, a glutinous rice ball filled with maple butter, toasted oats, and oatmeal broth.
He brought the nostalgia out, man. Kristen was like, man, this reminds me of home. This reminds me of something I ate when I was a kid, which I thought was probably a happy mistake that Henry was, kind of fell himself into. But it seems like a dish that he actually was familiar with. It sounded really, really yummy. The glutinous rice ball, the oat, the maple, like all of that. It sort of just things that in the Venn diagram of flavors that work together, like all of that is right in the middle, right? And I thought he did a great job of sort of putting that together. What's up?
One thing that I was thinking is the whole surprise of kind of cutting into it and having it kind of fall out like that. There's almost like an unboxing that happens there.
Oh yeah.
Because the same thing with the money shot of like opening up a poached egg where you don't know, or a beef Wellington or something where it's like you don't know if it made the trip. And so when you cut into that, there's kind of a surprise. It's kind of like, ooh, what am I opening up here? And I think that element of surprise really helped him win this quick fire. And he gets emotional again, gets $10,000, which is going to help, soothe those wounds later in the episode. But hats off to you, Henry. You win that one. Massimo, the texture was beautiful. They liked that. And Tristan, obviously, good heat, nicely cooked. It was a great dish, and he's got immunity, which is the other thing about this, is that he's doing this just without having to do it. Like if he could just put this in his back pocket and be like, I'm going to bust out my anchovy ranch later. And he didn't need to bust it out on this one, but he did.
But he did. You know what though, man, for some reason that just specifically, we'll get to it obviously with the elimination challenge. I felt like that's something that he did not think of, like, hey, I'm going to pull this out on Top Chef. Like that was like of the moment, of the challenge. And again, speaking to that sort of that feel, that very just, unique feel that certain chefs that are on this competition have to the challenge, man, that number one, and I don't know if you're ready to talk about the elimination challenge, but I am. Shout out to Henry, man. I was really happy to see him, such a low last week and such a high this week. I was really happy for him and getting some cash in his pocket. This elimination challenge was tough. This was hard.
Oh, really? Really? I would have thought, Eric, you'd be like, it's pizza. Like it's just pizza. Every chef knows how to do pizza. So what's the big deal?
Yeah. You know what though? From the beginning to the end, I thought it was just clearly the competition is getting stiffer. 30 minutes is not a lot of time to shop. $250 is not a lot of money for 75 people. You got to get super creative.
See, this is stuff that I don't think I would think about, but this is a real constraint.
It's a real constraint. $250 for 75 people and the guests. And the judges rather, and the judges. making pizza. Now, yeah, it's flour, it's water. These are typically inexpensive, it's salt, inexpensive things. But then like you gotta jazz it up. And in the dish, or rather the challenge specifically said to do something that sparks conversation and debate. So like, how do you bring out the wow factor in pizza, something that, as the judges mentioned, everyone has a connection to? How do you really shock the unshockable, so to speak? That I thought the shopping and the time constraint, 1 hour to make your dough the night before, an hour and a half to cook. And again, it's pizza, it's temperamental. You also have the option of cooking indoor or outdoor, which I thought was a huge variable risk as well.
When you're
outside, you're dealing with elements and, again, variables that are really outside of your control. You want testers for your pizza as well. You want to make sure it rises. You want to make sure all that. You don't have the time to fix what you might have been able to do the night before. This was a very, very difficult challenge for these chefs. And to see the work that they did, I got to commend them. I mean, even some of them weren't that impressive rather, but like to actually get this done, everyone but Henry, man, I thought that was great.
There were only like 4 that were successful. We'll talk about it. Some were really successful. Have you worked the line like a pizza station, or have you ever done pizzas in your culinary career?
Never worked the line at the pizza.
So what would you have done in this? Like, I guess you kind of in the back of your mind, like how to make pizza dough, but like,
yeah.
Do you think you would have fared okay?
I think I would have been fine. Like, I know a good slice. It's really, it's formulaic in a way. And I think Massimo and Vinny did a great job of explaining sort of the 1, 2, 3s, right, of the pizza. Getting the flour, it's got to be high in gluten, a good amount of salt. Massimo talked about the bubbles and sort of tossing it with your hands. Vinny talked about
that was good. I liked that lesson. I did not know about why the bubbles, why you do that, but to get the air.
Yeah, it's not just on the style, outside. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's not just style. There's a little bit of method to the madness with it. So there was a great bit of education that was happening from chefs that are obviously very, very comfortable, making it. But I think when you follow those things, really the double-edged sword is really the controversial and conversational piece of it. Like, you want to do something off the cuff, wild and wacky. It still has to make sense, but then also it's sort of like giving you no constraints. I like constraints, man, when it comes to cooking, especially elimination challenges. I want to be told, what do you need me to do? And I'm going to do it, right? So when I have like the free reign to kind of do whatever, then my mind starts going into Fritz. Man.
Then it becomes a story, right? Then you got to like tell the story of the dish, where a lot of times I want you to tell me what the story is, and then I'll cook that dish, where it's this one, it's like carte blanche, open canvas. You do you. And that open-ended thing, I can imagine, would be really stressful.
It is, man. So in addition to all of the sort of constraints, and this is what a lot of folks, and you called it out, don't typically think of if you're just watching, not a chef or someone who, is a cook, a line cook, to think 30 minutes to cook or 30 minutes to shop with, such a small amount in your bank. And we saw that actually during the shop. Like, a lot of people were hitting that line, like $2.49, $2.50. Like, you got to use every single penny to think about, these dishes. I felt so bad for Henry.
And Eric, you got to cook for Wylie Dufresne and Spike Mendelsohn. So,
and you got to cook for WD and Spike.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
yeah.
What?
So talk to me about them. So like all right. One thing I noticed, which was so great, when Kristen starts saying like the accolades for Wylie Dufresne and introduces him before she says his name, you can see which chef knows just by his like, where he's worked or his restaurant or like his story. You didn't even have to say Wylie Dufresne, and they knew that it was who was coming through those doors. There was one person on that line that it didn't seem like they had any idea who was coming through that door, and it was Cesar. Cesar was just standing there like,
I missed that. Like, what's going on?
Oh, okay. And then he started clapping. This dude wasn't on social media before he got on Top Chef. I love this about Cesar, is that he's going to do some crazy stuff. And it seems like he's not connected with the outside world. Like he might not know who Wylie Dufresne is, but he knows how to cook. And I just love that about Cesar, because it's just like, this guy is so talented, but he's not part of this like pop culture side of, or celebrity side of the whole chef world. And I kind of love that. He might not know. I would love to ask Cesar if he like actually knows who Wylie Dufresne. He has to, right? He has to, but maybe he doesn't.
You've heard the name, even if you're not like, in the celebrity, or as you called it, man, of the chefs and sort of this whole life and TV world that chefs have really been popularized before. You know the name Wylie Dufresne, man. And it's so funny too, as you mentioned it, and I'm thinking about it. He kind of speaks to WD's like heart. Like, that's a dish. Last week's dish, the pickled ice cream, is a dish that Wylie Dufresne would do. You know what I mean? The putting the cocoa powder and trying to make it work is something that Wylie Dufresne would do. Like, WD 50 it's no longer open, but it was extremely innovative. I was inspired like all hell. Wylie Dufresne is like the Willy Wonka of the chef world, man. Molecular gastronomy, when it first started making a big push here in the States, was the Mount Rushmore of like crazy, whackmania chefs. Put Wylie Dufresne right in the center of that four chef clan. That guy's brilliant. And then my good man, Spike Mendelsohn, man, Spike from DC, Juice. Sorry, can you hear that?
Oh, that's all right. You're in the city. Yeah.
Yeah. We're in the city. So Wylie Dufresne, man, and Spike Mendelsohn, man. Spike is one of my dear, dear friends. Shout out to We the Pies, man. Like, he is a brilliant pizza man. He's just a brilliant guy. I love his family. I know his sister really, really well. I know I've gotten to, meet his family and really enjoy them. Spike is just a really good guy. When we first opened up the restaurant, Spike sent over like tons and tons of pies for me and the staff, just to, congratulate us. I talk to him once a week, if that, and like, it was so cool to see him. Like, Spike's my guy. So those are really, on top of all the crazy constraints, like you said, you got to cook for WD and Spike, who knows pizza like the back of his hand. Good luck.
Yeah. Can you talk to me about his pizza? I haven't had it.
That's freaking delicious. It is so good, man. Spike Mendelsohn, bro, like, he understands food, man. It really is. It's wild, because I did a podcast with him, and he actually made In the Weeds podcast. Shout out to In the Weeds podcast. He made me a very own pie for myself. He's like, man, he texted me the night before. He's like, if we were to just make an Erica Japong pie, what would be on it, right? And we had fennel and sausage and a bunch of just like veggies on it. And he made it just for me, man. And it was one of the best things ever. I almost shed a tear as I was eating it. It was delicious. But Spike, his pizza is the thin crust. The sauce is just out of this world. He's got a great ratio to like the crust and the sauce, and then it's not too heavy. He specifically doesn't put a lot of stuff on it because he wants that weight of the pizza to kind of hold and that integrity to hold itself. This guy, he's a genius when it comes to pies, man. He really is.
So I think the Top Chef, I'm keeping my Top Chef third eye open here, because like, you're just hanging out, you were just texting or eating Spike Mendelsohn's food. When I went to New York City last week, I went to Danny Garcia's restaurant, and he happened to be on the last week's episode, which was crazy. All right. So that's number one. Number two, when I sat down at Katz's Deli and I started biting into my giant pastrami on rye, I take a look to my left, and the walls of Katz has like all these celebrities who have walked through those doors, legendary people. There's Leonardo DiCaprio. There's Selma Hayek. There's, whoever it is, The Rock. And then this guy next to me, I'm looking at the photo next to me, like right directly next to my seat is Spike Mendelsohn.
No kidding.
And so his photo was right there. And I'm like, wow, how about that? Top Chef guy right there as I'm sitting down. Of all the tables that I could have sat down at Katz's Deli is the one with one of the most iconic Top Chef contestants on the show. Amazing. And then this week, who shows up to do the pizza challenge but WD and Spike Mendelsohn? My third eye is open. Third eye is open,
man. Third eye is open, dude. It's something in the air right now. But yeah, man, I thought great.
And you were in town in Charlotte, man. This is just weird. It's all happening right now.
A lot of synergy happening, man. Great stuff happening all throughout, man. Shout out to We the Pizza, man. I love Spike's food, man.
So here's the weird thing: the pizza party. Kristen kind of says it like, why are we doing pizza? And she says the origin story of Hawaiian pizza. And this is kind of a Mad Libs of like cuisines. So here's the story. Apparently, Hawaiian pizza was invented by a Greek guy in Canada in 1962 because he liked to cook Chinese food and used a Hawaiian brand pineapple. So let's rewind. A Greek guy, not in Greece, in Canada, who loves not eating Canadian food, it's Chinese food, decided to invent a Hawaiian dish, a Hawaiian pizza dish called Hawaiian because it's a pineapple brand. And I'm like, that is an amazing origin story. Really? And then on top of that, I didn't know that. Did you know that origin? I had no idea. I approve, by the way. I approve of Hawaiian pizza. I'm cool with Hawaiian pizza. You're not.
I'm gonna leave you hanging with that one, man. You know what? No, I'm not gonna like yuck your yum. If you like it, no doubt. I've had it. It's okay. I won't like go to it for my first choice. How about that?
I mean, tomatoes are sweet. Bacon is kind of sweet. So like a pineapple is soup. What? It's got a little bit of, I don't know. It's got a little, sure. Fine. You're the chef. I kind of feel like there's some toppings on a pizza that can pass as like a sweet, I don't know. Caramelized onions have a little bit of, Anyway, my point is I approve. I'm not ordering Hawaiian pizza, but I went through a phase in high school where I was like, ooh, this sounds pretty interesting. I kind of like that. And then you get over it. The second thing was like this inspiration was this
during the Soul Patch
Karu. Yeah, the Soul Patch. Oh my God, I can grow facial hair. I want to look like I keep forgetting his name.
Oh man, where's Maze when you need him?
Yeah. Karu Asada, switching the subject. Karu Asada is the chef who did the first sushi pizza concept, and it was also in Canada. Foreshadow, Henry tries a sushi pizza, and I thought it was a little weird that they threw that in there. I would have been fine with the Hawaiian pizza tie-in, but then they threw in the sushi pizza was also invented in Canada. And I didn't think anyone was going to do a sushi pizza. I would have been fine if no one did sushi pizza. Yeah. There's a place here in Charlotte called Cowfish, and it's like burgers and sushi. And sometimes you get like kind of like these very American sushi dishes, like a roll of, kind of like a hamburger roll, but it's sushi style. I'm okay. I'm fine with a sushi pizza. Henry didn't want to do a sushi pizza, but had to because he screwed up the flour shop. So he bought flour, forgot that there was a flour underneath. And I remember when they were showing us the edit, I was like, why are they showing us that he was looking in the bag and looking for the flour? Because if he got the flour, who cares? Right. And then he forgot the second batch of flour. So he's got half as much flour as he needs, realizes he's got to pivot. And so he does what? He does I don't even know what you want to call it.
He did a pho rice, like almost try to get crispy rice on the pho with the brisket.
It was like a brisket tartare.
It was, man. Yeah. It was a train wreck in slow motion. That's what it was. It truly was. I hate. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I think we've all discussed Henry's sort of preparation for these elimination challenges not being to the point where it needs to be. And now at the point of, 9 chefs left, like this is the time where these sort of like self-inflicted wounds are going to come and hurt you a lot more than when there was 15 chefs around. You can't make these mistakes. And every week it seems like Henry just finds himself in these situations that could have just been easily done if you just, guard your yard or check your tickets or look at your receipts or look at your bag and at this point, man, when it happened and he said he didn't have flour for a pizza challenge, I was like, bro, you going home? Like I could have, and honestly, I could have just turned the TV off at that point. I knew he was going home. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Magical Elves trying to edit this in a way that you'd have like some doubt that he would be going home, but there was nothing good on that dish. And he would be the first to admit it. I don't think we're going out on a limb and saying like these critiques, but the crispy rice wasn't crispy. It fell apart. It was, as Tom said, it was like it was a rice bowl, but it was supposed to be pizza, so that doesn't work. It was like eating a tartare with extra herbs, and it wasn't a handheld for a pizza challenge. So that was tough. I guess that he was going home. Cesar's in the bottom because the cocoa didn't work. It was bitter and it stuck to the oven, and it just, the flavors didn't work, the textures didn't work, and I felt bad because there was a good concept. I was like, ooh, this is going to be really interesting in Cesar's way.
I thought so too. I think maybe a little less cocoa because to everyone's point, at least the judge that pointed it out, cocoa does burn, and it tastes very bitter when it's, sort of charred. So adding that into the dough mix in and of itself, you're kind of working with just an additional element of surprise. And, these are the type of things that happen when you go for it in creativity or creative wise with a dish that you never made before. Like it could be a delicious sort of inventive dish like his pickled ice cream, or it can be just, a mess. I don't think it was a mess. I just think it needed more work. It sounded conceptually really good, but unfortunately led to the bottom.
Spike said the first bite, he couldn't finish it. And another patron was like, I couldn't finish this. Yeah. So it just didn't come together. He knew it. Paola, also in the bottom for doing this like milk dough. I'm not really familiar with that style. Yeah. But it was just way too much moisture, and it's just very soupy. And I actually love the ingredients that she came up with. Like the way she described it, I was like, oh, that's going to be delicious. But I didn't really think about the cook itself. Mm-hmm. Is like, it's just too much liquid and it doesn't work. When sometimes you put mushrooms on a pizza and you think it's going to be like great, and the moisture just like seeps off of the spinach or the pizza. You got to think about that before you throw it on a pizza. It's just like, this is just going to get way too soggy.
100%. Specifically with that, you cook the mushrooms first and then you add them to the pizza, because it's exactly that. You're just going to have a lot more moisture. But then also during the cook, we saw Paola add oil and the milk and the sugar. There was just a lot of hydration in that dough that's not going to crisp up. It's not going to get that beautiful sort of hold that you love in a handheld pizza. So great concept. Just seems like a really not the great execution.
This episode is brought to you by 20th Century Studios' new film, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, starring Golden Globe winner Jeremy Allen White and Academy Award nominee Jeremy Strong. Scott Cooper, the director of the Academy Award-winning movie Crazy Heart, brings you the story of the most pivotal chapter in the life of an icon. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Only in theaters October 24th. Get your tickets now.
For a limited time at McDonald's, get a Big Mac Extra Value Meal for $8. That means 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, and medium fries, and a drink. We may need to change that jingle.
Prices and participation may vary.
Vinny does well. He kind of did this like Reuben that his brother once made, and he made fun of his brother for making a Reuben pizza. And he like spoke from his heart. Is like, hey, this is me. This is me and my family. We have this running joke in the fam, and here's a Reuben pizza. And they loved it. They thought it was great. My question to you, did you catch the pickle spear, were you supposed to eat that separately, or do you think you're supposed to bite into the slice with the pickle on it?
You know what? Dealer's choice. Shout out to Walker Kitchen. I say whatever. If it fits in your hand with the pickled slice or with the pickle there, and you can just do it all in one bite, go for it, man. This is not like napkin, type of eating food. But if you also want to kind of have the dill pickle and crunch on that while you're having a slice of pizza, I think that's fair game as well. So great concept. Bringing it back to New York, bringing it back to the family. Him and his brother look identical. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, man, Vinny on the plate, man. I think that's him. He's New York. He's going to give you a little bit of finesse, of course, because that's just what he's been trained on. But it sounded like a Reuben pizza, absolutely delicious. It's funny. Tom mentioned it as well, and that was something I put in my notes. Give me some of that ranch on that Reuben. Ball game. That would have been it for sure.
Thousand Island or the mustard ranch that he talked about. Yeah, because Tom's not a ranch guy on his pizza. I'm fine with ranch if you want to do it. I'm not getting out the ranch. If anything, I talked about with Sarah Bradley is like, give me the garlic sauce for Papa John's. Otherwise, Papa John's is very meh to me. Sorry, my wife is not listening, and all my Kentuckians out there. Papa John's is very meh pizza, but like the garlic sauce is fucking fire.
It's
okay,
delicious.
it is so
Shout
good.
out to the
so
mass
I love a good
pizza. Yeah, that's funny. Papa John's, the mass production pizza. I think Kristen that called it out with who was it? It was a Bailey's dish. Bailey's pizza.
Bailey with the cornmeal bottom, and someone said it felt like mass production. She's like, I think that's kind of why I liked it.
That was hilarious. That was so good.
So Bailey does the chicken parm with cornmeal undercarriage, and I'm a sucker for the one bite videos just because I think it's something weird that I don't know, just like a crispy pizza. I just love watching the videos, even though I'm not the biggest Portnoy fan. I undercarriage is a thing, zero flop is a thing that I'm like always thinking about now when I eat pizza. And Vinny had zero flop apparently on his pizza. Look, this Bailey's chicken parm I thought was safe. It was a little under, but I felt it was safe. It wasn't something like a conversation starter. Like chicken parm is a very Italian dish, and it's an Italian, a pizza, a beats as they call it in New Haven. It doesn't seem like too outlandish to do a chicken parm pizza. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've seen it on a menu before.
Yeah,
so
I've had it.
yeah. So I wasn't feeling that from a conceptual standpoint. Lana, this sounded awesome. Again, oxtail tamarind barbecue with honey nut squash puree, this buttermilk dressing with plantain chips on top. Like, man, that sounded awesome.
Yeah.
In the middle again, Lana and Paula have not won anything yet this season. So Lana and Paula have never been eliminated, obviously, but also have never won a quickfire or an elimination challenge. I feel better about Lana going forward. I feel like she's just kind of like, she's coasting, but not in like a casual way. I think she's just like, she's been fine. Whereas Paula, I feel like she could have gone home a few times. I'm much higher on Lana right now.
I agree. Lana's food has been good. Nothing spectacularly of note so far, but I think this dish right here that she made with the tamarind barbecue, the oxtail, sounded absolutely delicious. It sounded like it might have been a little too sweet, but I mean, sign me up. That sounds like a dish or a pizza, a slice of pizza I'd have any day. But you're right. Lana has been, coasting, and that's not a bad place to be. But I got to say, man,
she's still there.
Tom had mentioned this to me as well in my group. Like when you cook not to lose, in playing in the safe, man, eventually you're gonna be in the bottom though. So you have to really it might be time for Lana to pull out one of those dishes that she had in her back pocket, and really kind of shake up the scene. This is the perfect time to kind of hit them with that 1-2 combination. If you don't.
No more rope-a-dope. Like,
Now you got to get them.
You're
exactly
bouncing
that.
around the ropes. Now it's time to come and fight. So she's, I think she's got it in her. So she's in the middle. Massimo also in the middle. I think he did a very good job with his. I think they really liked it.
Yeah. That looked
The
good.
clam too, the clam and mussel, very New Haven style. It seemed like, because the white clam pizza in New Haven is iconic. The potatoes maybe were a little bit under. That was the buzzword this week, under. I think I heard it like 4 or 5 times this week. And that was, I think, one of the better ones. There was 4 that really did well. Vinny Shuai goes back into the well with the scallion pancake.
Yeah.
That's been working very well for him. And he knows what works on this show, and he does a scallion pancake. The toppings were delicious. There's a spiciness to the lamb that I really enjoyed hearing about. There's a tiger salad on top, very bright. I think he played to his strengths, like they said, and I think that's smart. You know, he knows what his cooking is. He knows the scallion pancake is going to do very well on this show. Yeah. And man, I think unlike Henry, I think Shuai with aside from the huge mistake last week of throwing away Henry's shit, I think Shuai's still in it. I think he's still in it. And he's in the top 3. Yeah.
100%, man. Shuai knows how to cook. And like you said, he plays to his strengths, which is not a bad thing. You know, it got him on, top 3. His food sounds very straight to the point, man, for what he knows. And that dish looked absolutely insane. Visually, I think one of the prettier dishes that we saw, at least in my opinion. That beautiful sort of salad on top looked fantastic. And yeah, I'd take a couple of slices of those as well.
So he's in the top 3. Tristan wins.
Let's talk about it though. Let's talk about my guy. Come on.
I mean, the tzatziki, as soon as he started naming some of these dishes, the elements, I was like, oh, he's doing like an anchovy tzatziki on top or as a side. Like this is like kind of like a gyro, but on like a pizza. And then he was throwing in pickled grapes, and there was like women at the thing like, yo, pickled raisins. I never thought that would be good, but it was awesome. What do you like? Where does this come from?
Where does it come?
Lamajin? I don't.
Yeah, bro. That was. You know what was so effing cool to me? The forced fermentation with the yeast, and I'm going back to the cook. Excuse me, with the beer rather. I'm going back to the shop. You had $250. To shop for all these ingredients. Anchovies are pretty expensive, but you also went to aisle 7 and picked up a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah, you grabbed some PBR or some. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Like, what do you if you're on a budget?
And you had the budget too? Like, my goodness. Tristan, you're different. He's different. He's cooking differently right now, bro. He's looking above in an ascension mode right now, and he's looking below everyone like, yo, get to my level.
Get my level.
Forced fermentation with the beer was so smart. I wrote that down in my notes like, this guy, this is like, I'm gushing. This is like winner's mentality. This is like cooker. That's a cook's cook. You know what I mean? That's a cook's cook. Like, this guy knows what he's doing. He brought it again. Flavors sounded absolutely insane. The dish, his pizza looked absolutely insane. I got nothing else, man. Tristan, bro, you have exceeded expectations as far as, for me at least, and what I've known, chefs to do. Bruh, you're different. He's different. He really is.
He's different, man.
He's different.
Is there a cuisine or a challenge that you think? Because he said, I don't even like this, but I'll cook it. And it's the best thing that chefs have ever tasted.
Between the random trivia that he knows, the cerebralness that he has about the dishes.
The pep talk to Vinny, like, yo. And
like,
he's just like.
The 2 Italian guys. And man. Shout out to Tristan, and whatever you're doing, bro. If you keep doing this, it's a fast track to Top Chef. You've got this.
He did a lamb fat man at Madeline. Like,
yeah, what?
What? This guy.
It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh, and it also gives me like. It energizes me in a way like, man, that is just, I'm inspired. That's what it is. I'm inspired. I feel like I'm a kid watching WD-50. I feel like I'm a kid watching, the greats like Grant Actis and Jose Andres and Ferran. I feel like I'm watching Brian and Michael Voltaggio in season 6. That's what it feels like to me watching Tristan cook right now.
And remember the beef patty episode? He did an after school beef patty, and you were like, "Yes, that is exactly what I want. Like that's exactly what I would have done too." And he
spoke to me. He spoke to me, and I mean, coming from where I come from, the background as well, man. Like you know what it is, man. I feel like it's like what Michael Vick looks at, like Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? Like, yes, passing the torch.
That's my guy. That's me. That's me. That's what I wanted to be. If I was Mike Vick in 2025, that's how I would play it. And that's me. And you must be so proud watching this dude. And
I really am.
The maple jerk steak and grits from episode 2, where he had flash freeze fries with yuca. With ahi amarillo kielbasa. I mean, there's nothing he can't cook. I'm convinced
he can't cook.
Yo, my Nike Cortezes that have a hole through the bottom of them, like he could cook that into a Michelin star dish. I'm convinced that this hat that I'm wearing right now, he could make into an amazing souffle. Like I'm just, this is the level that he's at right now, dude.
He's different.
He's different, man. He's different. And I'm so mad that he's on your team. You've got, all right. So next week is Restaurant Wars. Yeah. You have, I can't reveal what you're doing, but you are taking a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be here for Restaurant Wars, but please take notes if you can when you get back.
Absolutely. 100%.
For a fill-in guest, a surprise fill-in guest here for our audience. You're gonna be back in a couple weeks after you do your thing, but please keep up with the show because I want to hear your notes because our replacement guest is certainly gonna have plenty of notes and I want to compare them. But you know what? Like you've lapped me right now. It's 105 to 75.
Sorry, my audio was coming out. Could you one more time, sir? Sorry, I missed that.
I'm on to you, man. I'm on to you. I'm not doing that. I'm not engaging in that shenanigan.
I'm not engaging
Get
in
out
this.
of here.
It's a lot to a little, Tom. It's a lot to a little. And I got Tristan to thank for it, man. Absolutely, man. Crushing it for my team. We are, it's a 3-0. It might be 3-1, but it feels like a 3-0 right now, lead in a 7-game series. Tristan right now has just been absolutely just, he's the man. He's the man. You know, I thought this was a down week for Cesar. He had 0 points in our fantasy scoring. He was in the bottom 3 for both quickfire and elimination challenge. But he's so creative and innovative. He's kind of this savant that like I wouldn't be surprised if he goes on a run here. Like I don't feel any doubt of his talent and his ceiling on this show. If I had to rank the remaining contestants into a redraft, I would have Tristan the clear number 1 right now. I would go Cesar 2. I would go Schwei 3, Lana 4, Massimo 5, Bailey and I would go Vinny, then Massimo, Bailey, Paula. So any in there, like after it's a big drop off between Tristan and the rest of the group, but I still believe in Cesar. I do as well. You know, I think I might have mentioned him as the dark horse on my team. Cesar he's as creative as anybody else that I've seen do this competition. And
salmon. Did he think like salmon carpaccio sounds like cappuccino? So he did a salmon cappuccino. Do you think that's where his weird brain goes to? Is like, why would you do a salmon cappuccino? Makes no sense. I've never had like a coffee or a latte being like, you know what, this could use.
The gift and the curse of being so brilliant and creative, man, is sometimes you just have things that just should be left in the archive. That one is an archive dish, bro. Like, don't just keep it somewhere in the dark and don't revisit it. But man, he's as creative as anybody else that I've seen work this competition. Tristan, Vinny, I'd say, I'm right there with you, man. As far as the redraft, I think Lana is another chef, man, again, who can really, if she really like pulls out one of those, dishes that she really knows how to do really, really well, she might shake up the entire competition. Bailey is a great cook. Paola, I'm really pulling for her to do something impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, so far I'm just having a blast watching the season.
Yeah. I liked this episode. I love pizza. So this was really fun to watch. And I think it was very educational. And I like the little kind of banter of the judges talking about like, you know, the controversial pizza topics. We kind of agreed. So I guess we didn't get into it, but like, do you have a hot take about Chicago deep dish or Detroit style or any other pizza stuff that a hill you're willing to die on? Or you're like, you know what? Let people fight about that. I'll be over here. I'm chilling.
I don't really think there needs to be a fight about Chicago because it's not pizza. It's not. It's a pot. It's like tomato cake. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Give me a New York slice. Give me a Connecticut slice, New Haven slice. Neapolitan I can do as well, but bruh, it's right there. Those are the only two. The only two that matter, at least.
Yeah, we've got some Detroit style here. One of my favorite spots, Salud in Charlotte, a James Beard nominated like beer shop and coffee shop, and they do pizza and wings. They do an amazing Detroit style pizza, and it's really good. But you can have like one slice and then you're cooked. And I like the fact that New Haven or New York's, I know New York's big, but like I like the fact that you can have multiple slices. Whereas, you know, Sicilian, you kind of have to bow out after one. It's just thick. It's a thick, like Lou Malnati's in Chicago. Like when I was in Chicago for the draft lottery a couple years ago, not the draft lottery, the draft combine.
Yeah.
I had one of those things and I was like, I don't think I can finish it. And I'm a big eater. Like I love that stuff, but it's too heavy. So, all right, that's the Pizza Party episode, WD50. Spike Mendelsohn, our guy. We the Pie. We gotta give a shout out to Spike's pizza empire that he's building there. I think Henry deserved to go home. He did. It was too many stumbles out of the gate. Felt like he was Sideshow Bob stepping on the rakes and just kind of self-inflicted. And I think look, Henry's gonna have a battle. Eric, I'm gonna break the news to you. Kat Turner goes home in Last Chance Kitchen. I'm gonna talk about it in a little bit, but Katiana and Mr. Henry are gonna fight it off. And you know what? I didn't know that Tristan was 1/8 Asian. Shuai was like,
it was so funny. It's so funny you said that.
Shuai, Tristan just keeps bringing things out where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Sure.
1/8.
1/8. We're gonna have him on the show and we're gonna ask. I want to know, like, how does he have this like kaleidoscope? He's the most worldly man I've ever seen. Like he's just dropping.
It's really impressive, man. Was it man, what was that old school commercial? The beer dude.
The most interesting man in the world, Dos Equis.
That's Tristan. That's Dos Equis. Yeah, shout out to that. Man, a fun episode as well. I really enjoyed this one. You called it, man. So educational, fun. Hearing the little kind of debate, at the judges' table, and watching Tristan just go at it again, man. 10 out of 10 episode.
We're gonna have a fun restaurant wars here. Massimo is front of house. Shuai is front of house as well. I don't know. I guess that works. We also saw in the preview that Tristan and Vinny are on the line together. I don't know who's executive or sous chef or how that's working, but lots of fireworks there. Vinny is on the team with Tristan. I could see some power dynamics there because Tristan, as good as he is, he also has immunity. So I could see that being a friction point.
That's right. So if I was him, I would take the highest role as either the host or the executive chef, because if it falls on you and you don't have to go home. So I could see Tristan being exec and sort of running that ship. But man, it seemed like Massimo might have been his host. Or at least front of the house, and there was a little bit of a rift between there. So I'm curious to know if there had been some foreshadowing happening in the past couple of episodes with Massimo sort of giving him the side eye, and it's all sort of coming down to restaurant wars. I think that might be happening. I think something like that. Keep the third eye open. But yeah, we'll see.
We'll also see Nina Compton, one of my favorite chefs in America. She is like the GOAT. So like awesome to see Nina Compton, who's got, a great thing going in New Orleans. Also was in Miami. Shout out to Mike Parola from Macchiolina in Miami, one of my favorite Italian restaurants on the planet. He worked under Nina Compton and just says the world about her. And shout out to her partner, Larry Miller. Big fan of Nina Compton and really excited that she's going to be on the show.
A dear friend of mine. I caught up with Nina a couple of weeks ago. Our books came out around the same time. So shout out to Nina and her book, Creole, with co-writer Osei. A fantastic, brilliant mind when it comes to food. Just storyteller as well. I told her in Philadelphia, it might have been very controversial, but I think she should have won her season. That's maybe another conversation for another time. But shout out to Nina. I'm so glad that she's showing up this season.
Shout out to you, Eric. Thanks again for doing this. You'll be back in a couple weeks.
Sure.
I will talk to you then. For Eric at Japong, I'm Tom Haberstroh, and this is Pack Your Knives.
Peace.
All right, Last Chance Kitchen in a pickle. This is Katiana and Kat. Apparently, Katiana goes by Kat, but they couldn't have her as Kat because there's another Kat, Kat Turner. And so they decided to call her Katiana, which we learned on the Pack Your Knives Substack premium feed. I did an interview, sat down with Kat Turner after a few episodes of the show. She was amazing. It was great talking to her. She had some great stories, some behind the scenes stuff. And one of the behind the scenes stuff, if you watch this week's episode of Last Chance Kitchen, you find out that Kat and Katiana they're next door neighbors. They live on the same cross street in LA. They didn't know each other before Top Chef. They were neighbors, literal neighbors, same name, same job, same notoriety, like big time chefs in LA. And they didn't know each other. And now they're head to head in Last Chance Kitchen, where Tom Colicchio says, hey, here is a whole assortment, a whole buffet line of pickled jars full of veggies and stuff. And you get to pick 3 for your little Last Chance Kitchen dish, but you're going to pick 3 for your opponent. And since they kind of know each other, they kind of run in the same circles, quite literally live on the same street, I think that they were a little soft on each other. Here were the 3 ingredients that Kat got from Katiana: asparagus, cherry peppers, and green beans. I don't think that's very hard. You got these long string beans, like the long asparagus, and of course, cherry peppers. Like I kind of feel like that's doable. And then Katiana gets beets, cocktail onions, which are very powerful flavor, and sweet banana peppers. Again, I don't feel like are very difficult ingredients. And I kind of feel like if these 2 chefs did not know each other, they did not live on the same street, did not cook in the same town, and they didn't have the same name, I kind of feel like they would get kind of their talons out. They would get their claws out on this one. But Kat does a tempura pickled asparagus with pickled shrimp, corn relish, and this celery root puree. That the one mistake happened was she hammered the shrimp. She forgot about it and overcooked the shrimp. She chopped it up. And she says it right off the bat. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I should have not put that in the dish. If it's not good, and I know it's not good, leave it off and just keep it as an asparagus tempura with this corn succotash or corn relish and leave it at that. It was still very good. But Katiana wins with her vacuum sealed salmon with this beet sauce that turns it bright pink on the outside. And she had this gribiche tartar sauce with onion and pickles. It looked awesome. Tom Colicchio looked at him. He's like, these are both really great, but the shrimp was rubbery and that's going to send you home, Kat. Sorry to see you go, Kat. I felt like you should have had a longer stay on this program. It hurts me a little bit to see like someone like Paula or Lana or some of these that haven't won an episode or won a quick fire still on the program. Because Kat, like I think you deserved a better end of the stick. I don't think I said that right. You got the short end of the stick and I think you deserve better. But Kat goes home. Katiana moves on to face Henry in Last Chance Kitchen. They will probably return after, I suppose, in a couple of weeks. So we got a couple more rounds before they re-enter the competition. Henry is joining Katiana. I drafted Katiana number 1 overall in my fantasy draft, which you can listen to that in the archives. Go to packyourknives.com, subscribe. If you want to become a paid subscriber, you've got my Amy Schneider interview from the Jeopardy icon, the legend, who was on Top Chef recently with Michael Cera. She's on the pod. We got Carly Levitz, who's doing great work breaking down the stats of Top Chef on packyourknives.com. Also, if you want to listen, we do another great interview with, we got a few great interviews up there that if you listen, great. If you watch these episodes, but if you want the full package, all the analysis, go to packyourknives.com and check it out. Sarah Bradley also in our premium interviews at packyourknives.com. Thanks so much for watching this Last Chance Kitchen bonus episode here. And I will talk to you next week to break down Henry versus Katiana.